Hello, this is Rodrigo from Learn English Fast, and today I'm going to talk about writing skills, and the aim of this lesson is to teach Parataxis and Hypotaxis in order to help you write great compositions for Toefl, Cambridge and Ielts tests. But before we start our lesson, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the button below so that I'll make sure you get all my tips for both grammar and vocabulary from all my videos, alright? Parataxis and hypotaxis, what is the difference? So, when used as literary devices, parataxis and hypotaxis can relay similar information but in different ways. Your narrative style and the specific type of information you wish to convey will determine whether or not you use hypotaxis or parataxis. So, in English literature, writers typically use parataxis in a narrative to convey a stream of consciousness in which a character's continuous train of thought is indicated by the paratactic unity of multiple complex sentences. And this literary technique can create the sensation that words and thoughts are piling on top of one another, suggesting a fast-paced, scattered narrative point of view, and it offers the juxtaposition of clauses without the implication of the hierarchy inherent in the use of hypotaxis. The grammatical arrangement of hypotactical sentences, meanwhile, ensures that the phrases therein are organized as a main clause, bolstered by subordinate clauses, and the conjunctions clarify the relationship between the clauses, be it chronologically, cause and effect, or another form of comparison. Whereas writers may use parataxis to create a loose, impressionistic picture of events, hypotaxis can force the reader to deeply analyze the relationships between clauses while allowing the author to highlight the importance of one clause over another one. Alright? Technically speaking, parataxis is the placing of clauses one after another without connecting words to show the relation between them. In other words, without using discourse markers. And a great example of this is the opening of A Tale of Two Cities by Dickens. And let's have a look at it. It starts as, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, it was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity, it was the season of light, it was the season of darkness, it was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. So, parataxis is also common in conversation, as illustrated in this passage written by Elmore Leonard, who is an author noted for his ability to capture contemporary speech. Let's have a look. Actually, Chris said, you get right down to it. Philip's the one does all the talking. She gives me banking facts about different kinds of annuities, fiduciary trusts, institutional liquid asset funds. I'm sitting here trying to stay awake. She's telling me about the exciting world of trust funds. And now, just another example. Manuel drank his brandy. He felt sleepy himself. It was too hot to go out in the town. Besides, there was nothing to do. He wanted to see Zurito. He would go to sleep while he waited. As you could notice, there were no discourse markers connecting those sentences, alright? Now, let's talk about hypotaxis in detail. So, hypotaxis, also called subordinating style, is a grammatical and rhetorical term used to describe an arrangement of phrases or clauses in a dependent or subordinate relationship. That is, phrases or clauses ordered one under another. In hypothetical constructions, subordinate conjunctions and relative pronouns serve to connect the dependent elements to the main clause. And hypotaxis comes from the Greek word for subordination. And here I got a passage from Beatrix Potter's The Tale of Peter Rabbit. It's very famous, and it illustrates hypotaxis. So the example is, after losing his shoes, he ran on 4 legs and went faster, so that I think he might have got away altogether if he had not unfortunately run into a gooseberry net and got caught by a large buttons on his jacket. Now let's see another example by James Baldwin. When I was around 9 or 10, I wrote a play which was directed by a young white school teacher, a woman who then took an interest in me and gave me books to read, and in order to corroborate my theatrical bent, decided to take me to see what she somewhat tactlessly referred to as real plays. As for speaking, hypotaxis means that you get disorganized thoughts, for example, bursts of noun phrases, self-interruptions, sudden departures from the theme, flashes of memory, odd side remarks. I mean, it's the disordered language of a person with a concentration problem, like some very famous American politicians. So my piece of advice to you would be not to use them in meetings or group dynamics, alright? So, I hope you have enjoyed this class, and I'd like to thank you so much for being with me all this time. So, I'm going to ask again to subscribe to my channel and click on the button below, and make sure you get all your friends to join us so you can get all my tips for international certificates such as Toefl, Cambridge, GMAT, GRE, Ielts, etc. So, see you guys. I hope to see you next time. Cheers. Bye for now.